Okay, Roboado. Hey, Delta Wado. America Wado. Upudmv Wado. Niyerio. Ye. So, this is your president. My name is Christopher Oresi Ejenake. And today I want to share with us very, very important and vital issues. And I'm coming to you with my 2021 presidential manifesto. Now, I'm choosing to make this video because when we have meetings, we usually don't have enough time to go over certain things with regards to Upudmv and us being a 501c3 public charity organization. And like I said, we don't really have much time to go over certain issues during meetings, because the meeting is usually a forum where we all come together to discuss current or pressing issues, and questions are asked as well as being answered. So prior to my being elected, I didn't have the time to really roll out my manifesto. I think at this point it's a good time for me to do that, so that we can all be on the same page while I share my compass with regards to what is going on, the work that I'm doing as your current president. First off, I want to start by thanking you all for voting me in as your new president and believing in me to be able to lead this organization at this point in time. So starting off, I did promise that I'm going to do my possible best to strengthen the structure of this organization. Now, why did I say that? I say that because, having had experience from various organizations or various associations that I have belonged in the course of the last 8 years, actively performing duties as a social secretary in my capacity to some of our sister associations, and being secretary as well, and now president of this association, also being a founding father of this association. I believe we need to expand upon what we have so we can have a better outlook. That being said, I have certain things that I have in my agenda to accomplish, of which some of them have already been accomplished. I want to say special thanks to those who have contributed towards our PO box, which we have received the keys for. I also want to say a very big thank you as well to those who contributed towards our official web mails, which we already have, and I'm going to explain these things in further details as we go along in the course of this video. This year, 2021, I plan to take us from where we are now to where we ought to be, which is soliciting for public funds. Because we are a public charity organization, it is our right, vested upon us by the United States of America, to be able to solicit funds from the public. What does this mean? This means that it is not all the projects that we need to do that our members have to bring money out of their personal pocket for. Okay? Now, these things I'm talking about might sound foreign to a lot of you, because most of us coming from back home in Nigeria, we are used to certain things being done in certain ways. When we say we are part of an organization or part of an association, it means in that association we stand by each other, we help each other to grow, physically, intellectually, financially, most importantly, and we stand by each other when certain things happen to us, especially if we're in a new city from home, which is what we do here. As we are not in Nigeria, we gather ourselves to be able to have that sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, and family with fellow Urhobos and those who have imbibed our culture and our way of livelihood as well. So let me highlight the things I want to do for 2021. Number one, I wanted us to have a PO box because of various change of addresses that we keep doing over and over again. This association has been on for 3 years. We registered this association on February 1st, 2018 at Office of Taxation in Baltimore. Second thing we needed to do was having our official emails. Okay? All our officers, members of the executive, have been using their personal emails as correspondence. Okay? And this is affecting us. It has affected other associations so deep that it's taking most associations a great deal to be able to pull themselves out of this situation, and they are seriously struggling because they've dug a very deep pit that is like a well. Okay, and this is as a function of us just doing things without going along with certain rules and regulations. Now, America is an educated country. Okay? This country is an educated country. What do I mean by that? The founding fathers of the United States of America were educated people. And they wrote certain things down in their constitution, and they ensured that that constitution is passed from one generation to the other. So whoever is coming into office must know that constitution and abide by it, and each officer must be eligible for that office. That is why America is successful today, even stronger than the way it was when the country was set up. by its founding fathers. How are they able to achieve what they are achieved today? It is because templates have been passed from one generation to the other, and those templates are now built upon. Okay? But where we are coming from, we don't believe in templates. We believe whoever our successor is has more knowledge and insight or foresight than us who are the current generation. And oftentimes, this is a very wrong notion. The only thing our successors have more than us is experience. And depends on the field of study. Most times, experience might not be able to match up with current dispensation. What does that mean? Nowadays, with the wake of the pandemic, a lot of businesses, people have been sidetracked, forced to stay at home because businesses are shut down, schools are shut down, economy is shut down. So it's only those that are online, that have businesses online, that are currently thriving. Companies that used to be brick and mortar without having any online presence are now folding up. With all the experiences that they have, they are now folding up. Now, those that are online, that have been building their online store or online businesses, are now beginning to rise up, while those that have been in the brick and mortar businesses or school or whatever are static. But those that are online are open to e-commerce, which is the broader view of millions of people from their very standpoint. Okay? So I'm giving these two examples as a way for you to understand the differences between experience and education or current dispensation. There is an imbalance, and that imbalance is what I want to talk about today. So as a public charity organization, there are certain things that we are supposed to do. We have signed a contract with the state government and the federal government that we are going to conduct certain statutes by the government that has empowered us. If we don't do that, we cannot gain the kind of power and prestige that we ought to gain or ought to have. So today I want to highlight the differences between an association and a corporation. Association, corporation. What is an association? Association is basically a group of people coming together to associate with themselves, help each other to grow and become better people. However, what is a corporation? A corporation has two branches. There is a profit corporation and there is a non-profit corporation. What is a profit corporation? A profit corporation is a business, a big business that you set up. But the main purpose of you setting up that business is to make money. Period. That is the definition of a corporation, of a for-profit corporation. What are examples of for-profit corporations? You and I buy stuffs from Walmart, foodstuffs from Walmart. We buy stuff from Amazon. Some of us do eBay. We search on Google. We have emails at Yahoo, Google, AOL, just to mention a few. We have cell phones from AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Leica Mobile, and the rest. These are all corporations. These are companies that make money, and they take money from our pockets. Okay, that is a profit-making corporation. Now, when you talk about a non-stock corporation, which is what we are, that is a charity organization. We are not making money to profit ourselves. Rather, we are making money to profit others. That is the understanding that I want us to have. Okay? Now, an association is profitable to us. A corporation is profitable to other people. So, if you know the difference between these two, whatever your decision making is will be geared towards either one of these. There's no standing in defense. The only way you can stand in defense is by your bylaws. Okay? So, now, an association is called a 501c4. Okay? Which is a closed group. They are private. They are a private group of people. You don't want other people to know about you. And whatever you do is always closed within yourselves. So when you contribute money, it's within yourselves. When a member dies, it's only yourselves that are aware of the member's demise, and whatever plans you have towards the burial and all that is also within yourselves. Let's say we want to donate books or want to do anything for villages in Nigeria, and we are a 501c4. Whatever budget we decide, let's say we want to give $5,000 to 5 schools in Delta State in Nigeria, and we are 50 in number. If you divide 5,000 by 50, that will give you $100 each person. Okay? So if each one of us tax ourselves, each person brings in $100, we will have $5,000 we are going to be able to use to achieve that common goal. But when it comes to a corporation, if we need $5,000, all we need to do is to ask people for the money, because we are a public organization. Rather than tax ourselves, we will tax others to give us that money. But for us to be eligible to tax others for that money, we have to be in right standing, and there are certain rules that apply to being in right standing. For those of us that need more insight into these things, I would advise you to please Google 501c3 IRS code, and whatever pops up, read about it. It should tell you in depth what I'm talking about. There are certain rules and regulations that the IRS expect a public charity organization to go by. There are certain standards that we're supposed to go by. So when we are going to register this association, we register it as a 501c3 organization, not a 501c4. 501c4 is association, closed group. 501c3 is a corporation, open group, public group. Not only to our members internally, it's also open to external people that you and I don't know, that we don't need to know. All we need to do is, if we see somebody, we can write them a letter and say, please, this is what we are trying to achieve. Help us in giving us however you feel you can give us. And if they do, we can write them a letter telling them that we are thanking them for how much they gave us, and we are going to use this money judiciously while they write the money or the amount off from their taxes. So let's say a rich man decides to give you Upudmv $10,000 for us to build a well or a borehole in Delta State. All we need to do is to give the rich man a letter and say, oh, thank you so much for giving us $10,000. This letter certifies that you gave us $10,000, and you can take it off from your taxes. At the end of the year, when they file their taxes, they will submit that letter from Upudmv along with their taxes, and whatever their tax return is supposed to be, whatever the government is supposed to tax them for taxes, that $10,000 that they gave to us will be minused. They will be subtracted from their taxes, because they are giving to the society through us, because that is what we are doing. Making the society better, helping people, helping others. Now, so far so good. We have been functioning like a 501c4. It's not a bad thing. When our members are celebrating their birthdays, we celebrate with them. When our members get married, we appear or we give them gifts. When a member lost a loved one, or when a member died, we also support to bury the person or the deceased. These are attributes of an association related to 501c4. Okay? But when it comes to 501c3, the state obligation that we need to pass is, number one, volunteering. We are expected to volunteer, give our free time. Out of the time that we use or we have left, our leisure time, we're supposed to put it into giving back to the society. For instance, we have been going to the Upudmv to help them out for food drive that they do every Saturday, every week. They give out food, and we go and help them out. Sometimes we've stopped, and it's only a few of us that came out. The rest of us decided not to come out. But what we don't understand is, this is what the state is expecting us to do. Okay? They say, to whom much is given, much is expected. That's number one. Number two, the state is also expecting us to help in community advancement. What are the things that make communities advance? Schools, hospitals, law enforcement, education is also tied to school, but I mean other forms of education, therapy, less privileged, housing, homeless shelters. What are we doing? A lot of people give to homeless shelters, but I have not seen any organization that has built a homeless shelter before. That's one aspect that we can delve into. Okay? Now, I'm just mentioning these things. But for us to be able to solicit funds from external bodies or external people, we have to show a track record of the things that we have done before in the past. And what are those things? These same things that I've mentioned. In the past, how many have we done? We have given to firefighters. We have given to St. Jude's Hospital, Children's Cancer Research. We have given to Children's National Hospital, in that same line of cancer research / children, toys, play, and all that when they come to the hospital when they are sick. We also gave to Maryland Food Bank for Maryland Food Drive to give to the poor, people who cannot feed themselves during this pandemic. We've been able to do a little bit of our contributions towards those aspects, and we gave volunteering time too, which is not enough for only one thing. Now, with all that being said, we haven't really done enough, but we've tried something. And thankfully, we have all these things that I have mentioned on record here in this our YouTube platform. I bet a lot of you don't even know that we have a YouTube channel. I set this YouTube channel up in my last or previous office as the former Otuta, because I have to be around our social media engines. So we now have YouTube, we have Instagram, and we have Facebook. So please, at this juncture, I want to encourage you all to please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and also share this video, because it will help a lot of other associations as well. Okay? Because a lot of people do not understand what this 501c3, 501c4, 501c6, what all these various organizations mean, because they've not really gone deep into how organizations and company or corporations are structured. Okay? So, with this understanding of association and corporation in mind, we need to strengthen our structure. And what do we need to strengthen in our structure? Our constitution. Our constitution needs to be amended, and it has to be in line with the government, the rules and regulations of the government, the codes and conduct of the government. Our constitution has to be in line, in tune with it, and we must all go by it, not just what we like to do. Very key. Number 2, as an association, the rules that we go by can now be embedded in our bylaws, because as a 501c3 we are also allowed to have membership. Okay, but the thing is, we can run our membership in such a way that it will not interfere with what our corporation is supposed to be doing. And that is where a lot of associations have made mistakes, because they are commingling. Most people are falling towards the side of the association and leaving the side of the corporation behind and not doing anything about it. And it is what you feed that grows, that becomes bigger. Other associations keep feeding their 501c4, keep feeding their 501c4, and leaving the 501c3 to die down. So we here at Upudmv have been able to try to balance our 501c4 and our 501c3. It's not totally balanced yet, but I mean, our 501c3 is not down compared to other associations. So I will give us thumbs up. So far so good. You guys have made us proud. So this year, these are the things I want to achieve. We have already achieved PO box. We now have a permanent address, which is a PO box. We also have permanent email addresses for our officers. Okay, so we've achieved those two. This summer, I want us to have 100-hour volunteer services. So what I want us to do is, for those of us that are living in Virginia, please get us charity organizations that do food drives and all these things that we can volunteer time to. Also, those living in DC, please help us out in that same area. For Maryland, we have been doing Odenton. We can also digress and see other channels that we can use to help as well. That's number 3. Number 4, during winter 2021, we are going to be having toy and canned food drives, as well as us having our merchandise produced for charity, for homeless shelters across 3 states. Let's not forget, we are Upudmv. DMV stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Okay, so please, I implore you all to like, share, and subscribe to Upudmv YouTube channel. This is my manifesto for 2021.